had a jet black ribbon of fur running from the tip of his ears to the end of his bushy tail, tracing a path down his spine. This is called a dorsal stripe, and nearly every fjord has one running along their back. It is set off starkly against the blonde hair of their body, as if a writer stroked each animal with an inky quill. Lori ran her soft hand through the puff of black hair on Billy's forehead, using her fingers to comb straight the fluffy tuft between his eyes called a forelock. Billy stopped shivering. The 7th grader made him his bran mash every day at the farm where he now lived in a town called Springs. It was a small sandy town in the shadow of New York City. She was the person who mixed in a dollop of molasses with the warm water and bran flakes so that it was a touch sweet, just as he liked. Secretly, so the other horses at the farm, a Clydesdale and a Thoroughbred, would not see and know she was playing favorites, she sliced up apples for him too and plopped them in the mash. Granny Smith's only, just as he preferred. Billy loved to snuffle through his porridge and find the extra crunchy treat. Billy and Lori were the same age. The same week Tessa brought Lori home from the hospital, she bought a present for her healthy baby girl. With the savings she built during her first year at the law firm, Tessa purchased Billy, a tiny weanling, which means he had just stopped drinking mare's milk. Looking out the window at the foal grazing while rocking baby Lori in her arms, the new mother was proud of what she could provide for her daughter all on her own. And so, the newborn and the foal grew up together on the farm in Springs, a herd of 2. As herd animals, Billy and all equines get their information about danger and safety from other members of their herd, human or horse. There at Lincoln Center, Lori's calm demeanor and joyful face told him he was still safe, even in all the strangeness. If Lori liked this dazzling place she had brought him to, even with its freaky fountain that did not behave like the water in his trough at home, well, then he would try to like it too. All around the little horse, people were hurrying across the great flagstones of the plaza in which he stood. Some were dressed in sumptuous silks, the trains of their gowns swishing like horsetails as the ladies slipped around the fountain. The people glittered like the dancing water, light bouncing off jewels around necks and on cufflinks. It even glinted on the shiny surface of a dapper top hat or 2. To Billy, the people looked almost like a herd of horses in the summer sun. They gleamed so. The herd of people were all heading in one direction toward the 5 great arches of the Metropolitan Opera. It is not very usual to see a horse at the theater, but it is not so unusual to see things you've never ever seen in New York City. So the onrushing people did not stare at the blonde equine as much as you'd have thought. A lot happens in that big, thrumming place of art and commerce and busyness and dreams, and there's a lot to pay attention to. So sometimes things really worth taking the time to see, like a brave little horse's trust in the girl he loves, a thing so powerful you could almost see it glowing between the 2 if you actually took the time to really look, are missed. In their haste to get inside the Met, to get on with their own journeys, the fabulously dressed people mostly missed witnessing an incredible journey just beginning there beside the fountain. A few turned rouge-painted cheeks and coal-smoked eyes in Lori and Billy's direction, but only for a moment. One woman raised a penciled eyebrow at the sight, then hustled on. But one top-hatted person stopped. He was a boy of about 12. If anyone had been paying attention to anything beyond the ends of their own noses that night, they would have thought it unusual that such a young boy was so finely dressed. He was in a tuxedo with 2 tails that flicked out like a swallow's. His head was under a miniature version of those felted top hats that the most dashing of grown men were wearing that night. The boy stopped. He tipped back his top hat. Then he peered intently at the pair on the plaza. In that moment, he thought he saw...